What's up, guys? We are back with another Delta Force video for you guys today. Today, we're going to be breaking down weapons in Delta Force. We're going to be talking about the calibration aspect, how to build out the weapon specific to your playstyle and your needs. We're also going to talk briefly about some armor and like gun penetration, some other things. Everything in this video is purely related to the operations mode within Delta Force. It's the same concept though, no matter if you're playing warfare or operations. The only aspect is just the armor penetration that these weapons have a stat for due to operations having armor like a counter. So today we're going to be breaking down the M4A1. This is your overall weapon modification screen. A couple things I want to walk through you guys with, or walk you all through, is you have modify at the beginning. This is where you can add all of your attachments to the weapon. The calibrate function, as you have weapon attachments on your gun, this will give you the ability to calibrate those to meet the needs of your playstyle. Okay. Loadout, this is going to give you the overall attributes of your weapon currently. The only difference that you're going to see from warfare to operations is this next stat right here, armor penetration. So it is saying that this M4 will provide 32 armor pen based off of this weapon. All right. Nice thing about Delta Force is two things. It will give you a recommended design. So this design here has a higher accuracy. This one here has a lower accuracy. It's more of a like balanced build between control, handling, and stability. This other one has high control, high accuracy. Handling's okay, but stability's pretty low. These things right here will give you an indicator as to what control is. So control is essentially the recoil. Handling is your ADS speed, like how fast you can bring your weapon up. Stability is when your ADS down sight, how stable is the like weapon sway of the gun. And then accuracy usually throws people off with this. They think it's the overall accuracy of the weapon. Accuracy is only related to hip firing your gun. The next thing I want to show you is we go back to our current modification. When you go down to details, this is something that's really important to note when you're building out your weapons. Okay. When you click on details, you're going to have different tabs related to the overall weapon. Damage for the M4 stock. This is going to do 27 damage per hit on an unarmored person. It will also give you a breakdown of the hits and like the points per hit on a player that you're facing based off of body position. So to the head, 51. So essentially 2 headshots, essentially 3 body shots on an unarmored person. For the torso is going to be 24. And then for the limbs, like your arms and legs, those are going to be 16. Right now with this current stock build, damage fall off occurs at around 40 meters. All right. And then it drops off more and more as you get over 100 meters. Control. This is something that's really important. So control, right now, this is the current basically spray of my gun. So there's going to be a vertical spray to it that's going to have a slight S curve as the gun travels up. This will give you a breakdown of the sub attributes. But right now there's basically a 1 multiplier for all of these stats that are involved. Handling, the higher the handling, the faster it takes to aim with scopes. So your ADS time. Stability. This is like I was talking about earlier. The higher the stability, the less the weapon shakes during continuous fire. So it's that sway that goes on with it. This also gives you a breakdown of essentially the box or like the area of sway that will occur while breathing. So breath sway range is going to be within this. Breath held, don't really have anything in there yet. And then uneven breath sway. So this is kind of like when you're exhaling and you're having to like take an exhale and then bring your breath back in. That exhale is going to be a wider sway. And then accuracy, like I was talking about, is your overall hip fire. This is the areas that it's going to be impacted right now. So if I'm not moving, I'm completely stationary, I'm going to have a tighter hip fire. If I'm walking or having to like move my position around a corner while spraying, my hip fire is going to spread. And then if I'm having to like run and jump and spread or like spray as a hip fire, my spread is going to be much more. A couple things that I like to start off with personally are things that are going to increase the overall control for my weapon. So Number one thing I want to start with is my barrel. When you click on your barrels, this will give you certain effects and essentially like debuffs to your weapon. Range, muscle control. I want to put on this because this doesn't really have an effect on any other attributes within my weapon. With my stock, I'm always looking to improve my control and stability. I always like going down here at the bottom because a lot of these right here, like this weapon overall, the M4, is pretty balanced starting off as a stock weapon. So like coming down here, these are pretty cheap, and it's going to give me attributes primarily to one while not impacting the rest of them. So like right now, if I went with this practical tactical stock, this is almost going to bring me like pretty balanced across the board without any calibrations needed to it. Next, I'm going to start to look at my foregrip and then my rear grip. So with the foregrip, I want something that's going to have an overall impact at control. We're looking at control still. This one here, so like this is 3,000. Okay, 3,000 credits to have +2 control on my weapon. This right here is going to have an impact on everything except for ADS movement speed, but it's going to give me an impact across the board. This is going to be 53,000. It comes to a point where you really got to start to ask yourself, like, what do you want your build to be around and what are you willing to spend on it? I'm willing to spend this because it's going to give me an increased attributes, and I'm pretty much almost balanced across the board. Overall muzzle, honestly, in operations, I recommend trying to run some type of suppressor. Okay, vertical control, vertical firing stability, vertical camera stability. These are going to have some things that are going to impact how you're visually seeing your weapon and gun. All right. So with that being said, right now, let's throw this on there because it's going to give me more control. When I go back to my loadout, I go back down to details and I go to control. See how much this like overall spread has changed now? I have current modifications of like it's much tighter, not as far, but then we get this kind of initial spray and then it's going to kick out to the left. All right. But you can see here that our vertical and horizontal recoil, this is dropped to 0.57. This is dropped to 7.5. So my horizontal issues are starting to occur now while my vertical is starting to be handled. Our handling has improved. Okay. So we've actually dropped a little bit with our ADS time. Stability is improved overall. And then accuracy is still about the same. That's improved a little bit. So overall, our gun build, pretty solid right now. Go to our rear grip. Some of the rear grips will give you a grip mount. Like this one here, you're going to have control, handling, stability all across the board. If I put this one on, I can now add this grip mount, which will give me an additional like buff. 45 round mag is pretty solid as far as like your gunfights and everything. The control and handling are only going to be increased on the MT49. Don't really want to put anything on here that's going to be like a crazy disadvantage. Next, let's go to our barrel modification. The modular handguard panel is going to increase my stability and control, while that it's going to drop a little bit of my handling. Ranger is going to increase my control, not impact my handling. I personally go with the Ranger one because I don't want to create any issues for myself. I'm going to add Ranger handguards all on my weapon. Our vertical recoil is now down to 0.49. The horizontal recoil is at 6.4. You can see my spray pattern is much tighter. Handling though, we've increased it a little bit. So like our ADS speed is a little bit slower. Stability though is improved, and then accuracy overall is improved. Here's the overall handling of my weapon. Here's my ADS speed. It's not like a crazy make or break where I'm having to like swing my whole body into it. You can see here I got this like blue reticle on it. There's really not much recoil to the gun. There's a little bit of a shake with it, but overall, like, it's not crazy amount. So here you'll see like the gun moving. I'm not pulling down on my thing to give you guys more of a recoil pattern. So see how it goes straight up? There's that slight little sway into it. See how that moves, right? That is that slight, like, it's going to work up and then like slightly sway, but it's going to stay tight. It's not going to be this long widening thing. With that being said, these are only the attachments on the gun. We haven't done any calibration to these attachments. First thing I want to do is I want to calibrate our stock. So like I said, I want to look at the overall control of it. So I want to do extra control. And then what you'll see here is as you move your cursor to be more of a control build, your aiming stability while breathing is going to drop. If I go the opposite way, aiming stability while breathing, I'm going to lose control. Okay. You'll also see here at the top, the weight limit is going to change, but then the placement here, as I move this out, if I go 1 slot, 2 slots, 3 slots, my firing stability is going to increase. Whereas if I move this way, this is where you can gain that ADS speed. Let's look at our handling. So our ADS is dropped by 7. Remember these stats, 333 milliseconds, 217 milliseconds. Let's move this for our ADS speed. Okay, then aiming stability while breathing. Let's do extra control. So we're giving up some firing stability. Go back now. Back bar, loadout, details, handling. We went from 333, I believe, to now 317. Okay, by us actually calibrating our stock. Let's look at our control pattern. Our control pattern is like even tighter now, but it's got a little bit more of a sway to it. Look at our foregrip. Okay, we already have a control buff on it. This is going to impact the ADS speed, so let's go the other way. Ability while moving, then movement, ADS movement speed. Let's go this way. Let's increase the ADS movement speed and then ADS speed overall. We went from 333 to 321 to now 305. We're almost back to where the standard, look at the barrel, overall range, firing stability, ADS movement speed, ADS speed overall, right? Muzzle velocity, we're losing. Firing stability, we're losing. But the whole point I'm like trying to prove here is where you have gaps, you can improve those gaps through the calibration of your weapon. Now, though, we've actually increased our handling speed, so our ADS has improved. Our sprint to fire delay is almost back to the standard base stock. Stability is still improved across the board, and our accuracy is improved across the board. Now, for the ultimate test, though, go back to the firing range. We still have a recoil. So now one thing you can see is the initial kick of the gun is more horizontally, okay? Based off what the calibration is. There's not as much vertical recoil, but there is more horizontal recoil that I can see for the gun. 100 meters out. You can see like farther off we go. This, and I'm not holding my breath either. I want to look at right this ADS speed, movements, my movement speed. So now we're back to more of a vertical recoil. Me personally, being mouse and keyboard, I like having vertical recoil to worry about as a control factor instead of horizontally. I will basically put this in the description down below if you guys are interested in trying this out, this build out. This is going to show you the overall value of the weapon. So one that they recommend was 380,000. I built one that was a lower recoil, which was 329. Let's take this one for a spin. So this gun actually I like a little. But I appreciate y'all. Hope this helps you guys in your future raids. I hope you guys enjoy the content. Be sure to drop me a like. Hit that subscribe button, baby. I think we're almost to like 850 now. I appreciate all the love and support the videos have been getting. You guys are amazing. I hope you guys are enjoying Delta Force. Be good to yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace.